wherever you are listening to this show, whether you're in your car, on your computer, at your desk, on your phone, hanging out with your friends, watching us live on YouTube, or listening to your podcast. It's the Revert Radio Show, broadcasting from the studios of 1440 AM WMKM Detroit with your host, Abdullah. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Amma ba'd. As we always start a show with the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most high, the most merciful, the especially merciful. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's a beautiful Friday, beautiful day out actually. The weather is beautiful, mashallah. It's not too cold, not hot. Yesterday was even warmer. We didn't have to wear jackets yesterday, alhamdulillah. So alhamdulillah, we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because He is the one that is worthy of being praised, also as He is the one that's worthy of being worshipped, subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are on the Revert Radio Show, airing live from Detroit City. 1440 AM is the station, WMKM, and the phone number is 871. The area code is 313-871-9656. 313-871-9656. You also can find us on YouTube live streaming right now. If you're watching or if you're listening, you can see us. Jazakumullah khair for tuning in and being with us. Today, we are talking about something very important. As we try to always pick a topic that is important in the society, in our lives, things that are happening in our daily life, socially and in our own, every day. You see what I'm saying? The hadith that we are going to mention today, and we're going to talk about the hadith and talk about different things within our community and our families. And the hadith basically says, after naming the narrator, because in the hadith, as we know, that there's somebody that heard the hadith. Again, the hadith is the saying of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And as we mentioned in all our talks, the word hadith is always going to be mentioned in every Muslim's speech or talk or conversation, talking about Islam in general. Most importantly, you got to talk about hadith. You got to mention hadith. Now, why do we mention hadith? Because who's our teacher? Our teacher is the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he gets his information as a revelation from Allah, the Most High, and that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reassured us in the Quran and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's speeches as well. So the narrator, or the person who heard this hadith, his name is Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, and he's very famous in the world of hadith. He narrated so many hadith from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was around him so many times, and he memorized so many hadith. And we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for having that person around the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because without having that brother there, we could have missed out on a lot of hadith. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes everything happen for a reason. So I'm going to read the hadith in Arabic first, and then we'll talk about it in English, inshallah, and we'll touch more about it and about maybe other hadith that has something to do with it. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فليكرم ضيفه، ومن كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فليصل رحمه، ومن كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فليقل خيرا أو ليصمت. متفق عليه. This is an authentic hadith that has been agreed upon by different people of hadith who made sure that the chain of narration is authentic and pure, clear of any lies, clear of any people messing around with it. You know what I mean? So the hadith basically, in English, I'm going to read the translation, and then I'm going to talk more about it, inshallah. Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, He who believes in Allah and the last day, let him show hospitality to his guest. And he who believes in Allah and the last day, let him maintain good relation with his kins. And he who believes in Allah and the last day, let him speak good or remain silent. This is a very important hadith. This is a very important hadith for your everyday life. This is also for, even if you don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, this could be used as an everyday guideline for you, because this is mannerism. This is something, life is about favors, and life is about ties, and life is about kinship, because you belong to somebody, you belong to a family. And if you don't take care of yours, then who are you really? I mean, I understand some people, they have issues with their family members, and some people say, yo, I can't stand my family, or I can't talk to my family, or I can't get along with my family. But still, that's your people, that's your family, this is how you became to life, how you came to life, how you became who you are with the family. Now, sometimes family doesn't really have to be blood related. Could be friendship from growing up. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned more than one type of kinship or ties or relationship in this hadith. And there's other hadith that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam touches on other things as well, similar to this. But this is the beauty of Islam. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. So, first of all, من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر, those who believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the day of judgment, they ought to do this more importantly than those who don't believe in Allah and the day of judgment. Because those who believe in Allah and the day of judgment understand that there is a day that everybody will be judged. And that day is coming, whether you like it or not. And that day is coming sooner or later. It might be come to you before me, or might come to me before you. The day of judgment starts on the day of death. So you never know, but one day we're all going to rise up and stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we'll be asked about these people that were in our lives. Did you show hospitality? Were you close enough to them? Did you say hi, bye, salamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam? Did you ask about them? If they were hungry, were you able to help them out? If you weren't able to help them out, did you say a good word at least? So the Prophet ﷺ starts off with فليكرم ضيفه. Subhanallah. This is something that is very famous in our culture, alhamdulillah. And it's probably famous in your culture. I don't know where you're from, where you're listening to us from. But in our culture, and I've grown up seeing this in amongst my family members. As you know, my background is Arabic, Middle Eastern. Specifically speaking, you might be, interested to know where exactly. I'm from Bethlehem, the area where the Prophet Jesus, peace be upon him, was born in. Jerusalem, Bethlehem, that's exactly where I'm from. And in that area, in that region of the world, hospitality to the guest is so important. It's unbelievable. Some people will go so far to, if they didn't have anything but their, let's say their camel or their horse, or they have maybe a small goat that they take the milk from every day or something, they're ready to slaughter that animal to show hospitality to the guest. And after the guest leaves, they won't have anything else, but they're ready to give everything up for the guest, because this is how they were raised upon. And before that, the Prophet ﷺ gave us this as Muslims. As Muslims, we ought to do this over just doing it traditionally, because we also get rewarded for this. First of all, you get rewarded for listening to the Prophet ﷺ and going by his teachings. And second of all, you're feeding somebody, you're taking care of somebody, you're making somebody feel good and feel somewhat special. Because seriously, the hospitality that we were raised to do in front of the guest is making that person feel like he's VIP, he's everything. You know what I mean? If you come into my house, we're gonna take care of you, whether I knew you for ages or whether I just got to know you right now when you came to my house. So the Prophet ﷺ says, first, if you believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the day of judgment, then you need to show hospitality. You need to take care of your guests. That's number one. And number two, in this hadith, now the order of importance here in different narrations might be a little bit different, but in this hadith specifically, the order here starts off with the guest, and then the second one is the kinship or the kins, people who are related to you from your blood, or people who are related to you from your mother's womb. Those are the people who are considered rahim. Rahim in the Arabic language is the womb of the mother. So you were in the womb one day, your sister was there, your brother was there, and that womb is tied to your grandmother. The grandmother also had sons and daughters, so those are your aunties and uncles. And then your father also is tied to that, to that mother, because that's your father. And then he has his mother and his brothers and his sisters and their sons and their daughters. So you have to keep those ties very close, because this is who you are, your family. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's messenger, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he says, the second thing, فليصل رحمه. And فليصل رحمه, it's a very big meaning, is to connect. Now the sub meanings to connect, or the subcategories to connect, is major. So you can call somebody. Today's world is very small. Today is a day of connectivity, connections. If you say, and believe me when I say this, if you say that you can't get in touch with me, or I say I can't get in touch with you, then I'm either living under a rock or I'm telling you something that's not true. It's very, very hard to find somebody today that says, I can't get a hold of you. At least I would say 50% of the world. 50% of the world population right now is connected, well connected. You got all types of social media platforms that you can connect and communicate by and with, and you have ways of travel going to the people. If you can't get a hold of them by phone or text message or Facebook Messenger or Instagram, or getting somewhere where they might be located and finding their location, it became tremendously easy to find people today and be able to connect and communicate with your people and your friends and your family members. And most importantly is the family members. And then the Prophet ﷺ continues to talk about this a little bit more and say, and this is the next step, وَمَنْ كَانَ يُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ واليوم الآخر فليقل خيرا أو ليصمت. In other narrations, أو ليسكت. In this one, the Prophet ﷺ says, and those who believe in Allah and the day of judgment shall say good or stay quiet. This is the bottom line, fundamental of life and being successful. You either say it's something that's beneficial to you, myself, I'm talking first, or you and the people that are listening, or just be quiet. There's no need for you to talk. Listening is very good. Listening allows you to understand and learn and educate yourself. And talking, if you don't get that information, at least share the information. Sharing something is equivalent to being the person who generated that, because الدال على الخير كفاعله. الدال على الخير كفاعله. This is a very also great fundamental in Islam. If you guide somebody to something that's good, it's as if you're doing that good yourself. So somebody wrote a book, and that's a very beneficial book, and you guided your friend or your family member to that book, and those people benefited from this. It's as if you wrote that book and you gave them that knowledge. But all you did was guided them to that book. That's exactly what we're doing here, my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. We are basically sharing information from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ's teachings, from the Quran, sharing it with the world. Whether you're on YouTube, listening to the live stream on the Revert channel, whether you're on the radio in your car or at your lunch break right now, listening to 1440 AM WMKM, or whether you're listening to the podcast or anything, we are here sharing this information. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to be sincere when we're doing this. As you know, that this platform is open for advertisements and announcements and different types of ways to be able to support our show. So we do have different people who have supported our show. Alhamdulillah, some people, they just don't want to be mentioned, and some people that don't mind being mentioned, and we are here to let you guys know about them. We're gonna let you listen to 2 tracks, inshallah, for the sponsors that we currently have for our show, alhamdulillah. And once we listen to them, we'll come back to talk more about this. Bismillah.
Baked by Baba, introducing a variety of nut crumb cobbler custard with fruit-filled pies. All pies are made with a variety of nuts crumbed together in a wheat crumb crust filled with custard variations like cream cheese custard, banana custard, sweet potato or butternut squash custard, mango custard, just to name a few, and topped off with different fruit toppings like pineapple, blueberry, strawberry, apple, and many more. My mouth is watering just talking about it. The size of these pies is 7 inches by 2 inches and selling at only $7.99. That's right, $7.99. 2 pies for $15. 2 or more pies get a free delivery, and only $3 for delivery if you're ordering only a single pie. Get yours today. Get it quick. You haven't tasted a pie unless it was baked by Baba. Call now, 313-247-7391. 313-247-7391. Make your orders now, 313-247-7391. And they are ready for big orders as well. Baked by Baba. This show is brought to you by Air Duct Clean. Air Duct Clean provides air duct cleaning and HVAC services. We improve indoor air. Let us clean and maintain your ducts and HVAC system so you can breathe easier. To schedule an appointment, call 888-948-DUCT. That's 888-948-DUCT. Available 24/7. Find us online at www.airductclean.com. Air Duct Clean. We clean it, clean it.
So we're back, ladies and gentlemen, 1440 AM WMKM. This is the Revert Radio Show, live streaming on YouTube, and you should also find us on Facebook, the Revert Show, and inshallah coming real soon, revertworld.com, where you can find all the information and news about the show and things that are related. So we talked about the kinship, and the kinship is very important to keep ties, strong ties with your kinship, because this is a recommendation from Allah's Messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Now, as we mentioned, that the first hadith, whoever believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment should show hospitality to his guests, and whoever believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment should keep strong ties with his kinship, flيصل رحمه, or stay connected with them. And those who believe in Allah and the Day of Judgment should say good or be quiet. So to try to furthermore talk specifically about the kinship, your rahim, your close ties of your related people who are related to you by your mother and your father, blood people, blood relatives. There are rewards for everything. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given rewards for things that are good, that are beneficial in this world, in this life. Giving them reward in this life and giving them reward and storing some reward for them for the hereafter, for the paradise, for heaven, inshallah ta'ala. So in this next hadith that we're going to mention is a hadith that has to do with the reward of keeping your strong ties with your family members. I'm going to mention that hadith in Arabic and then we'll go further in English, inshallah. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من أحب أن يبسط عليه في رزقه وأن ينسأ له في أثره فليصل رحمه. Those who, and this is also a narration by Abu Hurairah رضي الله عنه, says that the Prophet Muhammad صلى الله عليه وسلم said, he who wishes to have his earnings grow and be blessed and his term of life prolonged, he should keep ties with his kin. Now, we know that the only controller over your rizq, your Allahumma salli ala Muhammad, your rizq, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you in this life, and your time limit or your frame or term of living on this earth, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the controller over this. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us by means of getting this information to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam's talk is all revelation. He says, those who wish to have their earnings grow. In this translation, earnings is the rizq. Rizq is the sustenance that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has provided for you. Everything that we eat, everything that we earn, everything that we use for ourselves, for our family, this is rizq from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we'll talk about this inshallah in details in some other shows bi'idhnillah ta'ala. But in this case, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you want your sustenance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grow, to be even more, so you're getting whatever amount that you're getting, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grow it for you if you keep ties with your rahim, with your kins, with your kinship. And another beautiful reward, this is for this dunya, that if you want your life term to be even more, you know that fountain of youth that people keep talking about, to stay alive in this world and to live even longer and longer and longer. This is the fountain of youth. This is the fountain of youth that is not going to let you live forever, as we understand, and we all know this, but this will make your life longer by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Have you ever thought, how can I make myself live a little bit longer? Because me, myself, I can't do it. You yourself, by yourself, you can't do it. But Allah has the power to do this because He's the creator. He's the creator of our time and our age and us. And He tells us in this hadith that if you want your life to be longer, so you're supposed to live 80 years, and you want to live 90 years, there's no specific time exactly on how long you're going to stay, Allahu A'lam. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's messenger was very clear. You want it to be longer, then you need to stay close to your family members. Keep good and strong ties with them. Visit your brother, visit your sister, visit your mother, visit your father, visit your auntie, your uncle. When's the last time you visited your auntie or your uncle? If you were able to, at least by phone call, at least by an email, at least by a text message. There's nothing that can stop you from keeping ties with your family. I know we all have shortcomings. I do myself. I'm the first one to have shortcomings. You might too. We need to strengthen these ties. We need to be very, very careful. Getting these ties stronger doesn't really mean buying them gifts and carrying, big groceries to their houses or whatever to make them, feel like If you can do that, that's good. Alhamdulillah, more power to you. But if you can't carry a gift to them, if you can't, be financially able to show them that you love them, show them that you love them by words. Words are stronger. Words are very strong. All you have to do is call them up. Hey, auntie, how you doing? Hey, uncle, how you doing? Hey, sister, hey, brother, hey, niece, hey, nephew. Everybody in your family got to be touched by your life. You got to call them. You got to visit them. You got to see them. Your daughters, your sons. If they don't come to you, you go to them. Your father, your mother. I know we talked about, parents and stuff, and people be leaving their parents in the, elderly homes and stuff like that. Don't do that. And if you do, visit them every day, man. Visit them every day. If you can't control your life and able to keep your father, your mother in your home with you take care of them. Be there every day. Show them that you love them. Show them that you didn't forget about them. If you have your close friends, your close relatives in the same city that you're in, visit them at least once a week, once a month. Don't be long. Call them at least. Don't be longer than a month. Don't be longer than a week. That's too long. Keep communication. Keep ties. Keep a list of people that are related to you to keep ties with and communicate with. Don't let things, delay, because this is not good. This is not good at all. And get rewarded for it. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first of all, promised that He will make your sustenance bigger and will provide for you more, even more than what you currently have. And if you feel that you might want to live longer, that's another thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will allow you to live longer. And I'm pretty sure if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows you to live longer, then He's going to give you a good life. He's going to give you a great life, a healthy life. This important message from the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is to keep these family ties strong, because this is what the community is all about, the society is all about. If the community is tied in together, such as families are tied in, and you're tied in with your neighbor, you're tied in with your guests, your guests, come to visit you and you take care of them, and you go visit people and you take care of the people that you visited, and then if you have something good, you say it. If you don't have anything good, you zip it. You know what I mean? It's that simple. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to say the good and keep away what's evil, and shut our mouths if we have to shut it, if we have anything good to say. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us to be upon the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and to be upon the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. The Quran is beautiful. It has all the good messages in there. It has all the great stories of the prophets and the good people out there. So you need to listen to it, read it, listen to it, understand it, see what it's talking about, and then if you have to judge or run away from it or go away from it, then that's your call. But don't judge it before reading it. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, today's Jum'ah. Don't forget to go to your congregation. It's important. As we talked about this is our holiday. This is the Muslims' holiday. If you're a Muslim, please don't forget. Do your thing in following the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, taking a shower for Jum'ah, dressing up real good and clean, putting on some good smell, and then walk to the masjid if you can. If you can't, try to go early by driving if you have to. And then when you go there, pray as much as you can. Read Surah Al-Kahf. Say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallayta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidun Majid. Don't forget, there's an hour after Asr that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you whatever you ask for. So don't forget to stand for 1 hour, hang out, chill at the masjid, chill at home, do whatever, and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the best thing you want in life, this life and the hereafter. Don't forget to come back, inshallah, Tuesday. We'll be live again here, 14:40 a.m. and on YouTube. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, we will be live bi'idhnillahi ta'ala from 12 to 12:30. 12 to 12:30. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us sincerity in this and to give us success in this. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you a reward for supporting us and being around us for this. And we thank you and appreciate you being around and hanging out with us. Thank you very much. Thank you again, and thank you for all the sponsors. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace.
Detroit gets their inspiration from 1440 AM. Reborn. WMKM.